for checking Emerson. Check it out. Now, the latest in what some people call cooning. Now, I have redefined what cooning is, okay? Or I've actually brought it back to the original meaning, okay? People usually think, quote unquote, a sellout. What usually is referred to as a Sambo or Uncle Tom is a coon, but in actuality, a coon is usually somebody who perpetuates a negative stereotype, usually placed upon him by some group of, quote unquote, a higher class. Okay? Now, in that sense, it would mean that the stereotype or the label that niggas only shoot guns, they got multiple baby mamas, when they get money, they gotta flash it. That's cooning to me, okay? Now, if somebody puts out or spits out some rhetoric that may seem anti-black or may seem like you're a sellout, to me, that's not cooning. That just seems like it might be a little bit Sambo type of actions, or it could be like just you being an Uncle Tom. Anyway, let's not get into semantics. Let's get right into it, okay? Now, Floyd Mayweather Jr., he made a comment saying, hey, listen, man, we really need to focus on all lives matter, okay? All lives do matter. And he said, listen, okay, basically, people need to follow directions, and obviously he's aiming that at the recent happenings with black men and the police. Now, a lot of people are upset, okay, because we've seen time and time again, usually when people who are of color, they get into a position where they have a lot of money, a lot of wealth, a lot of success, they basically don't even feel black anymore. They don't feel the inequalities that most regular black folks actually feel on a daily basis, maybe because they're rich. When's the last time Floyd Mayweather Jr. even drove that Bugatti and got pulled over for anything? He walks around with like 20 security guards, okay? Now, after he made that comment, which, by the way, I disagree with him because I feel the same disconnect with most people and quote-unquote Black Lives Matter is really because of the name, okay? I keep telling y'all, Black Lives Matter should be repurposed and just referred to as police stop killing us niggas, because when people hear the term Black Lives Matter, if they're not educated about the matter, okay? And nowadays the media looks towards everybody black, regardless if you have knowledge of situations or not, to speak on this. When you hear Black Lives Matter, you would think that it actually expands and is bigger than just police brutality. You probably would think, yo, what's going on in Chicago? Don't Black Lives Matter there? And basically you get to realize it's only about police brutality. So I call Black Lives Matter, police stop killing niggas. Now, when a lot of people take the name literal, as in Black Lives Matter, they then usually respond with this all lives matter nonsense. That's what Floyd did. Now, T.I. actually took great offense to that because he wrote out a long-ass post. If you don't know their history, T.I. allegedly swung on Floyd Mayweather Jr. while he was surrounded with like 10 bodyguards. We know Floyd couldn't punch back because his hands are registered, but they did get in a fight at like some Fat Tuesdays, all right? Now, this is what he said to Floyd on Instagram. He says, yo, Floyd, all our past personal differences and opinions of each other aside, this is socially irresponsible, inconsiderate, and insensitive. It mirrors delusional oblivion in a way only brainwashing tactics can achieve. This completely undermines and discredits the movement that fight for the plights of our people. You're a leader whether you know it or not. Don't get so lost in the personal possession or individual achievement that you lose sight of the things that are larger than all of us. Freedom, equality, justice, human rights, qualities of life that have been withheld or given out sparingly from our people for generations, 400 years approximately. A true champion is a man of the people. A true champion makes sacrifice for the people and takes a stand against injustices for those who may not be strong enough or able to do so. A true champion is great inside as well as out. There's a difference in greatness and being great at something. Greatness isn't a measure of your abilities and accomplishments. Greatness is a measure of your morals, integrity, principles throughout life. Oppression knows no neutral ground. Either you're... God damn, T.I., what the fuck? God damn, hold on, man. Jesus Christ, man, I need a breath. He says either you're the oppressed or you're the oppressor. What side would you like to believe you're on? While some will try to make this more critical than I hope it to seem, it must be said the world is watching. I have an obligation to myself and those who follow me to address this. Just know I ain't looking to clown you. I'm just trying to enlighten you, hoping that with better insight you can use your powers for good. Respectfully, King, us, or else. Now, T.I. actually wrote out a very eloquent and a very well-spoken, positive, intended message. So I got to salute him for that. And I think he's 100% right. I think he's 100% right. I think Floyd might be blinded by some of his personal successes and riches where he might not understand the plight of others. However, I still think he doesn't understand the movement. That's the only reason why I could see someone would respond to a question about Black Lives Matter and bring up All Lives Matter. So I gotta commend T.I., even though I don't think this T.I. writing this shit. Okay, remember when Gucci Mane got on social media and started apologizing and he was spelling everything correctly, when 2 days before he was spelling everything incorrectly? We knew that wasn't him, it was probably a publicist. I don't think this is no T.I. I don't think this is no murder criminal T.I., but we never know. But T.I. is absolutely right. Floyd should educate himself about these issues before speaking on them, or just choose not to speak at all. Say no comment, or really give a more substantive answer where we could kind of dissect what you're trying to say. Because when I hear what he just said, I'm like, Floyd, you're talking apples and oranges. What are you talking about? Okay, we're talking about one issue and you're talking about the next. So you guys get in the comment box. Let me know what you think. It's Wood Academics. I'm out.